So this is the Burton Landlord, and it is a board that's just always kind of been bordering on being a good ride favorite, but it always gets edged out by something else. Like this year, it was kind of between the Burton Landlord and the Branch Manager, and the Branch Manager beat out the Landlord, funny enough. It just seemed like it just had little things that were going on for it that I liked a little better. This has more of that old school scooped up nose, where the Branch Manager had that longer, kind of more narrow displacing powder, kind of better planey nose, and it was just fun and original and smaller, and kind of felt more like that performance shortboard. But still, it was really close. It always is. This is a really fun board. It does a really good job at carving up morning groomers, and I love that technology they have. So you look at the side cut and you look at the way the board sits on the table, you can see that the nose is higher up and the tail is lower, and it's very tapered, but it seems like they do something with the side cut to where it doesn't start till it's about the same width as the tail. So it's like, it seems like they're playing around with the side cut there. So it feels more like a double ender, and I was really surprised by that, and how tapered it was, in spec, but then on snow, how well it rode and how unwashy it felt. That was, I think, the coolest part about it. So, and that's the same for, all their directional free ride boards, like I think like the Flight Attendant, the Branch Manager, all those guys, they're doing that kind of side cut thing, and it's pretty cool. But, where I'd say the Branch Manager feels like a shortboard, like a performance shortboard if you surf. This feels more like kind of that, more like a gun, but not like a huge big wave gun, but more like for when it's like head high and above, and there's some, it's top to bottom, head high and a half to double overhead, but not that like super big wave, board. This still feels like it wants to go up and smack the lip. This still feels like, it's a quick, tight turner. It's great in tight spots, but it just feels a little more gunny, and that's if you surf. So that's kind of how I feel about this. It's got this just, really healthy camber right here, with almost just, it seems like it goes right to the tail. So just great pop off the tail. And then, as you can see here, it just has just a little touch of early rise going into a big old nose with a massive setback. You can kind of see, like, with the reference stance, oops, going to the wrong place. With the reference stance of 22, just that, but let's not do the reference stance. Let's go all the way back. So going all the way back, which is great for me, is closer to a 23. And here's one of the advantages of reflex bindings. EST, they're out here, right? So you're kind of like, more like, okay, that's all the way back. But with reflex, they're inside in the binding. So you can even go further back if you want to. So that's kind of cool. But 23 inches is all the way back, which is a great stance for me, and that's one of the reasons why this board appeals to me. But you're looking at almost 24 inches and about 60 3/4 centimeters from the nose to the last little arrow. And then on the tail to the arrow, you're looking at just about 15 inches and 38 centimeters. So it's a massive setback on board, and it's a lot more than what they say. It always is with directional boards when you play around with the tip and tail. So and I've had this in deep powder, thick, deep Sierra powder, and it's just been a champ. It just floats like a dream, and just kind of does everything right, but still pops off the tail and can still get out there and carve morning groomers. If you're kind of like a 50-50 powder groomer rider, yeah, maybe the flight attendant's a little better. But if you're living more for powder, but still on a board that you can go out and surf and carve groomers, then this Landlord's the call. You know, I like this base for one simple reason. It's clear with graphics underneath. So you can just go get clear P-Tex and keep fixing it as long as you don't have core shots and it won't, you know, fuck up the graphics. But I'd rather have it just all black, but it's definitely doable. And all in all, I really like the Landlord. We, you know, hindsight 2020, I probably shouldn't have bought it, but it's always fun to have in the quiver. You know, I'm kind of, you know, myself and my crew were kind of more into the flight attendant and the branch manager, and you know, those are kind of really fun boards. But this is really close too, and it really comes down to personal preference and what appeals to you.